Laughter glittered, thin, cutting, over the carols from hidden speakers. "Tonight," my father said, raising his glass, "we dine with our family's philanthropist." The curl of contempt was effortless. "She left real work for little projects. Don't worry, Mira, we'll see you can afford dessert." Laughter burst. My mother's pearls flashed. My brother Damon clinked Tessa's flute. I sat very still. The smile I wore was measured, polite, false. Roasted duck and cinnamon perfumed the air. Ash sat on my tongue. After 6 years, the Ashbourne mansion felt like a museum of pride, and I was the mislabeled exhibit. "Come now," my mother, Lila, said, dabbing her lips. "Your father teases." He called cruelty a dialect of love. I learned to translate it, then outgrow it. Tonight, I let him believe I hadn't. Beyond the windows, the lake was a sheet of ice. Snow hushed the pines. Inside, light-polished silver. Victor Ashbourne sat like an off-season king, cufflinks with our crest. Control proved worth. Wealth proved control, his catechism. "So," Tessa lilted, swirling wine, "what is it you do, Mira? Still dabbling?" Her sweetness had a sting. I met her gaze and let silence answer. "She's between ventures," Father said, amused. "Not everyone manages assets." "Maybe she's writing a guide to living with less," Damon added to fresh laughter. "Some people confuse obedience with accomplishment," I said softly. "Some confuse rebellion with wisdom," Father returned. "Perhaps," I said. "I learned from experts." The clock told 9. Mrs. Finch, our housekeeper, set down the duck and brushed my shoulder, a mercy no one else saw. My clutch vibrated. The screen lit a name, Sterling Private Bank. Father lifted his glass. "To the Ashbournes, wealth, power, legacy," I raised mine. "To surprises." 5 winters earlier, he'd fired me in a glass room 40 floors above Midtown. Victor never raised his voice. He didn't have to. "Results, not rationalizations," he said, and the board shuffled papers like jurors already convinced. Damon watched, pleased to learn cruelty could be quiet. I handed over my badge and walked into cold air that bit like judgment. The fall was graceless. Rejections stacked. I answered phones, filed contracts, learned rhythms of firms that smelled of burnt coffee instead of polished power. That's where I met Ari Malik. Too bright for the old rules, impatient with gatekeepers. "I can build," he said. "I can steer," I told him. We rented a room above a laundromat, wrote until dawn, and named Northlight Capital, a promise that even the longest night has a horizon. Failure taught, then yielded. 1 investor became 5. 5 became a fleet. Numbers stopped caring about our pedigree. By year 3, I woke to an email from Sterling Private Bank inviting me to their premier tier. I laughed, opened a spreadsheet, and kept going. The invitation to Lakewood arrived on heavy cardstock that smelled like pine and performance. Lila's handwriting looped. "Family Christmas Eve. We'd love you with us." I held it beneath the office light until gold caught, and felt nothing but calm. A plan, then. Not revenge. Remedy. Quiet filings through a shell, Wintermere Holdings. The Ashbourne mortgage. Purchased. A tender offer for the company Victor taught me to worship. Prepared. If he believed control was love, I would demonstrate that freedom is precision. When the snow finally came, I packed a black dress and a steadier heartbeat. I wasn't going home. I was going to end the ritual tonight. Dessert arrived in a hush of crystal and flame. Father rose to toast legacy. I stayed seated and opened my clutch. "Apologies," I said. Sterling needed a confirmation. "Your allowance?" Damon said. "My leverage?" The numbers lit linen. "Screenshots are theater," Tessa tried. "Then we'll use deeds." I slid a folder to Father. "Wintermere Holdings. 3 months ago we bought the Lakewood mortgage. Yesterday, Northlight crossed control in a tender. Your board hears at dawn. I wanted you to hear now." Victor's grip went white. "You think paper makes you queen?" "I don't want your chair," I said. "I want the lights on for the people you forgot. Control was your language. Mine is solvency." "Maria keeps her cottage," I said to Mrs. Finch. "Paid in full." Lila's voice thinned. Mira, why come back? To end the ritual, terms. Resign with grace, accept a stipend, let me rebuild clean, or fight the bank and lose more than pride. Snow pressed the panes. Father tried to laugh and failed. You staged this at my table. I started it the day you fired me, so I'd never beg again. I stood. Choose. He looked at Lila, then at Window. When he spoke, his voice was smaller. I won't burn the house to wound my daughter. He set his glass down. I resign. I faced Damon. Earn the seat or leave it, no shortcuts. To the guests, desserts on me. Laughter, startled then real, broke the glaze. In the foyer, Lila caught my sleeve. Can this be repair? If we tell the truth. Outside, snow softened the world. Ari called as the car door shut. Done? Beginning, I said, watching Lakewood blur. Freedom didn't roar, it breathed.